Hi everyone, Prashan here, just to check up on you, especially regarding your mid-session assessments, some of which you may have submitted already, and some of which you may have already received some marks, and what the purpose is behind these mid-session assessments. So there are actually two types of assessments. There are formative assessments and there are summative assessments. So what's the difference? A formative assessment is specifically designed to give you feedback and to monitor your progress throughout the course of a unit. So by default, they would occur in the middle of a semester, whereas a summative assessment is at the end of a semester, and that is designed to see whether you have achieved the learning outcomes of that particular unit. So formative assessments, i.e. the mid-session tasks, and summative assessments, which could be a final exam or a final project or a final artifact, serve completely different purposes. So please don't mistakenly take your mid-session assessment mark as a sign that you have not achieved the learning outcomes of a particular unit and therefore wrongly perceive that you have failed a unit already. That's not the purpose of a mid-session assessment. A mid-session assessment is specifically designed to monitor your progress and provide you with feedback. What's the purpose of feedback? To see how you're going in the unit, to see whether the way you are studying the subject is effective, to see whether you are tracking in the right direction in terms of achieving the learning outcomes at the end as assessed by that summative assessment. So the mark that you have received, whether it's bad or whether it's good, it's not a sign that you have failed or certainly will fail a unit. It's really designed to give you that feedback that you are doing something right or doing something wrong or could do something differently to help you actually achieve the learning outcomes of that unit. Apart from your actual mark, your unit convener may have given you personalized individual feedback and or they may have given generic feedback that applies to the entire cohort. Or you can look at your unit guide, and in the unit guide, every assessment task is actually mapped to certain learning outcomes. And that's another way that you can get feedback about how you've actually how you're actually going through the unit so far. Your tutors, your lecturers, your unit convener may further use other mechanisms to give you feedback as well, and you may hear commentary about how different assessment tasks have been performed in your pre-recorded lectures and or pre-recorded tutorials and seminars as well. So please, I guess the main point of this message is to understand that mid-session tasks and the marks, bad or good, are designed as feedback and are not designed to preemptively say you have failed the unit and or you will fail the unit. That's not the idea. If you look at your unit guide, you'll see there's a particular assessment structure which applies to every single unit, and that's of course different across units, departments and faculties, and that's because everyone's subject area is completely different, and the whole idea behind that assessment structure is to guide you through a journey, through a process, and then by the end of the semester, by the end of the session, that summative assessment task will give you, and of course the unit convener and your lecturers, an idea whether you've actually achieved the learning outcomes, i.e. passed the unit and or gotten a credit distinction or high distinction, of course. So just please retune the way you interpret that mid-session result and understand there is in fact there is a distinct difference between formative assessments and summative assessments. They're not designed for you to dwell on the past and feel negative about yourself, and they're designed for you to look forward to the future, think positively, and work towards a positive outcome together with your tutors, lecturers, and unit conveners, of course. we're all in this together to help you, and keep in touch with your teachers, your tutors, your seminar leaders, your lecturers, whoever else is involved in your unit, and of course your peers. Do use those Zoom opportunities to connect with peers and study together. See you, and see you soon.